Who's the most badass person you've ever met? I had this Uber driver named Marcus last year during my internship downtown. Quiet guy, maybe 60, always had classical music playing softly and kept those old school peppermints in his cup holder. He'd ask genuine questions about my day and actually listen to the answers. Never rushed conversations, never seemed annoyed by traffic. Drove like my grandpa, super careful, complete stops at every sign, never even 5 over the speed limit. But something felt different about Marcus from day one. The way he checked his mirrors wasn't casual glancing. It was systematic, like he was constantly tracking every vehicle around us. His hands stayed relaxed on the wheel, but his eyes never stopped moving. I started requesting him specifically because he was so reliable. Always early, car spotless, knew every shortcut in the city. Other drivers would honk and weave through traffic, but Marcus just stayed calm, humming along to Beethoven. We'd talk about everything during those rides. His grandkids, my college stress, the weather. He had this way of making you feel like the most interesting person in the world. Always carried extra phone chargers, offered water bottles on hot days. His car was immaculate. Leather seats conditioned perfectly, dashboard polished, not a single crumb anywhere. He kept wet wipes in the door pocket and apologized if the air conditioning took too long to cool down. One Tuesday evening rush hour, we were stopped at this red light downtown when this motorcycle pulled up beside us. Black bike, loud exhaust, rider in full leather. Nothing unusual at first. Then the rider started banging on my window with his gloved fist, screaming about Marcus cutting him off 6 blocks back. His voice was muffled by the helmet, but the rage was crystal clear. "Get out, old man! I'll teach you how to drive!" he kept yelling, revving his engine aggressively. Marcus just sat there, hands perfectly still on the wheel, watching the red light like nothing was happening. But I could see his eyes in the rearview mirror, completely focused, calculating. "Sir, please lock your door and stay seated," he said quietly to me, voice steady as always. The biker got off his motorcycle, leaving it running in the middle of the street. He started walking toward Marcus's door, still screaming profanities, fists clenched. Traffic was backing up behind us, people honking, some getting out to see what was happening. That's when I noticed Marcus calmly unbuckle his seatbelt with one hand while keeping the other on the wheel. His movements were deliberate, practiced, like he'd done this before. 23 years I've been driving these streets, he said softly, more to himself than me. The second the biker grabbed Marcus's door handle and yanked it open, everything changed. Marcus was out of that car faster than I thought humanly possible. Not slowly, like an old guy getting up. Explosive, like he'd rehearsed this exact scenario 1,000 times. One fluid movement and the biker was face down on the hot asphalt. Marcus's knee pressed firmly into his back. The guy's arm twisted behind him at an angle that looked professionally painful. "Road rage is dangerous for everyone on the road," Marcus said calmly, like he was giving helpful driving tips to a student driver. "You should really work on managing that anger before someone gets seriously hurt." The biker was cursing and struggling, but Marcus had him completely immobilized. A few other drivers had stopped to watch, some recording with their phones, others just staring in disbelief at this mild-mannered Uber driver. When the police arrived about 5 minutes later, they knew Marcus by name. The first cop walked up and said, "Hey Marcus, what do we have here? Another road rage situation?" Turns out he was retired police, 30 years on the gang task force, specialized in de-escalation and restraint techniques. He'd seen every type of street violence imaginable and knew exactly how to handle aggressive suspects. "I drive Uber now because I genuinely like helping people get home safe," he explained to me afterward as we continued to my office building. "Plus, the classical music keeps me centered, reminds me there's still beauty in this world." He still gave me 5 stars, offered me a peppermint, and asked about my presentation the next day like absolutely nothing had happened.